Hello, dear friends. This is the third video from Google Docs that we are going exactly to start working practically. In the first video, we learned how we can access, as we mentioned, we can go to docs.google.com or to our Gmail. In the second video, we learned how we can create a new document and learn the workplace. We can click here, blank document, or if we have, for example, the previous one untitled, I haven't done anything, only I opened it. Okay, now I am going to start. In the second video, at the end of the video, I asked you a question. And my question was that, what is the first thing that we should when we are going to start the job? Is it typing or doing something else? Actually, the first thing is I recommend you. You can start typing, but I recommend you rename the file. Because if you don't rename the file, you will have lots of untitled documents. For example, if I type here and then I go and create a new document, okay, this is untitled document. You see, for example, if I type something else here, make it bold, click make it bold, make it blue size. And again, if I go to my document, you see I have untitled document, and it is not good. It is not good. So the first thing that when you are going to create a file, before typing, click here on title document and rename it. For example, this is Google Docs first file. Or I can write, for example, Akbar Zahiri resume, or I can write anything or test anything. But it should have a proper and specific name. Okay, and the second question is that, how can I save it? Where should I click and save it? Here, share, here, where? Nowhere. If you remember on the first video, I told you that one of the good features of Google Docs is that it is saved automatically. If I close this, for example, I open this one, I am here and leave it. Yes, I close this. Okay, I did only I typed the name, only I renamed it Google Docs first file, and I closed it. I didn't save it anywhere. Now, if I go to my Google Docs here, you see it is here. Google Docs, it is saved. You see, because I didn't type anything, but it is saved. But the previous one, if you remember, untitled, I typed something blue. You see, it is saved. Again, it is untitled. Now, can I change it? Yes, I can change it. You see, it takes this name, but I can type it, for example, test one, and easily it will rename. If I go here, you see, it is test one. Now I am typing, and this is untitled. Again, I can rename it. Here, when I click on these three dots, I can click and rename it, for example, test 2. Test 2, test 1, Google Docs, Digital Skill Coach, my resume, Akbar Zahiri resume, and it is better to organize them and have specific names. Easily you can work with them. So now I click on Google Docs first file. So the first thing that you learn when you open a Google Docs, go here and give a specific name for your file, and it is not necessary to click anywhere to save it. If you click outside here, it is saved. And anytime you click here, you can rename it. So this is the first thing that you should do. The second part that you are going to start writing, easily you can start typing, okay, as I mentioned here. But if you look here, the size of the cursor, if I click here on the size here and make it, for example, 18, you see it becomes bigger, larger. So if you have any problem in vision and you want to see the fonts, the size of the fonts larger, you can click here and type them larger, but it is not good because the best font to write is 12. And you can type here 12 and push enter. It will be 12. But if you want to see it larger, there is a zoom side. It doesn't pay attention. This doesn't make the font larger. It only zoom on the space, workspace, and you can see it much better. For example, if I click here 150, you see it becomes bigger. You see the size of the font is 12. It is not changed. But the way that I can see it is much better. If I click here, for example, 50, it shrinks the space, and I can access all the area. If I click, for example, on feet, it gives all the space available for me. And if I click on 100, it makes it this zoom. So it doesn't change the font here. So this is zoom. And if I make it more larger to see, to focus much better, to access all the available tools, so I can click on the zoom and choose the way that I am comfortable to work. I make it the same 100, the default zoom. So the second point that you learned is the change the size of the font and zoom. And this is completely, totally different together. Now it is time to start typing. As you see, the cursor is blinking. It is ready to type. And these options will go away if I start typing. I start typing. I want to write my name is Akbar Zahiri. You see, it is typed there, M. If you are not familiar with the keyboard, what are the functions of the keyboards, the buttons, I recommend you to watch some videos. If you write complete keyboard functions, computer basic, there are lots of videos shows you how basic videos, what are the function of all these buttons on the keyboard. And secondly, if you are going to learn how to type very fast, okay, there are lots of tutorials online, and one of them is doorwayonline.org UK, and you can come here and start learning how to type step by step. If I start here, you see it shows that, okay, put your index finger here, A, then type A, S, D, something F, and go on how to type, start typing. If you want, you can watch the tutorials on the internet. There are lots of websites. Most of them are free and you can access them. One of the best one is this website that I showed here. Anyway, we assume that you are familiar with the keyboards and you can type. So I write my, then space, name, okay, is Akbar Zahiri with capital letter. I keep shift and Z, Zahiri. Okay, and dot. And continue, keep shift, capital I have a master's. When I type masters, I got to understand, okay, I made a mistake. Actually, masters doesn't have S, before S, I should bring apostrophe. So I can push backspace and delete it, and then put quotation mark, then S, masters, space, degree in space, teaching, and dot. Now, I see that, oh my God, I have made a mistake. It is not necessary to have M capital letters. I should write it a small letter. So I can go and select it. Pay attention. The next most important point that we should learn is selecting a word, a letter, or a sentence. Because if you want to do anything with the words, letters, or sentences that, for example, if I want to change the color to red, okay, I should select it. So it is important to select. So it is important to learn how to select a letter, a word, a sentence, or the whole paragraph, or the whole text. If I want to select only M, I put my cursor before M and push the cursor, mouse the cursor, and drag it on M. It is selected. You see it is highlighted. Then I can retype it. If I type M without keeping shift, it will be small letters, master's degree. Okay, you see. If I want, for example, instead of degree, I made a mistake. I want to change degree with certificate. It is enough to go before the degree, you see here, and click and drag, and then start typing certificate. Or I can push on the delete, click on the delete, it will be deleted. Or on backspace. If I click on backspace, it will be deleted. There are lots of ways. Pay attention. This is important. One of the easiest way is putting the cursor before a word or any letter that you want and click and drag. Another way is by mouse, you can double click. If I double click on degree, it will select the word. For example, if I double click on Akbar, it will select the word. Okay. If I click 3 times, it will select the whole text. So if I click 2 times, it will select the word that I am clicking 2 times. If I click 3 times, on the sequence, it will select the whole text. And then I can format it, for example, make it bold, change the color, change the size, everything that I want, or undo. This is undo. I made a mistake. Another thing is the life-saving key is undo. Undo is a button that when you make a mistake, you can say, oh my God, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to make it larger. I didn't want to change it. Anything that you wanted. You see here, even capital M. So when I change it, I can do undo. Oh my God, I want it with capital. Okay, no problem. I can redo. So you can see this is the life saving. But pay attention. It is until when you haven't closed the file. If you close the file and open another file, you cannot redo and undo. These functions won't work it here. So here we learned that when we make a mistake, for example, when I'm going to continue writing experience digital skills coach. I see that, okay, I wanted to write coach, but I have written Coke. So backspace, if I click backspace, I can very easily change it. But I see that, okay, I haven't written skills. I wanted to make it capital. Okay, as I mentioned, I can come and select the letter and keep shift and capital S. Oh my God, I have written here without a space. You see, they are tightened to each other. I should put a space here. So I can click here and put a space and it will easily correct the sentence. As you see, I have red lines under have and I also experience and blue line under Akbar. Like Microsoft Word, Google Docs has a spell checker and grammar checker. When the word has blue line under it, if you click on it, it shows that it is grammar mistake. It says that I don't have Akbar in dictionary. Maybe it is a proper name and it is, you see, grammar suggestion and gives a suggestion. And if you want, you can accept it, click on accept it. If you don't want, no, it is correct. I want to keep Akbar with a small letter. I know it is correct. You can click here, ignore it. And even you can click here and see other suggestions you can see, or click on dots and go to spell and grammar check here, and you can access maybe more options here. Again, you can ignore it or accept it, and I am sure that it is correct. I can click here Akbar, a capital letter, or accept it here. And the next one, if you want, you see step by step it goes. It says that I close this one here. As you see, it has a red line under it, so the grammar is not correct. I can myself click here and add E, okay? Or I can click here and accept have, okay? As you see, experience has a red line, so it is a spelling mistake. So if I click here, it says that Akbar, you have forgotten IE and ED. And if you accept it, you can easily click here and change it with experience. If I continue writing, for example, having certificate from Seneca College. You see, it says that certificate is wrong. Okay, it is wrong. And also Seneca is wrong because it is a proper name. I accept, okay, maybe the spelling is like this, but I am sure that it is. So as you see, it cannot exactly recognize the thing that I have written. So pay attention. You cannot trust on the or totally. It is good. You can use the spelling and grammar checker, Microsoft Word, and also Google Docs. But you cannot depend on it, trust on it. It is not completely right, the suggestion, because I know that Seneca is with capital S and it is a name and with one N. Now it is correct. But now, as you see, I have written form instead of from. You see, okay, it is not wrong. It is correct, but it couldn't recognize it. Only from the grammar point, it had recognized. Okay, there is something wrong with the grammar point. So sometimes you write some words. They are real words and they have the forms. For example, form and from. Pay attention, and it cannot recognize the words correctly. So you should have proofread after doing everything. It is very important, and you cannot trust the machine. So here it says that maybe another problem, because I have written certificate. Because in English we cannot bring a certificate, I should bring certificates or a certificate. So it gives a suggestion having a certificate, or I can write certificates. If I write certificates, it is correct. Or I can change it to having a certificate. Again, I have another problem. Oh my God, the grammar is wrong. I wanted to write from, not for. Now it is correct. In this part of the video, we were going to teach you how you can delete a word or change a word when you have made a mistake by using keyboard, for example, backspace or delete, and also these two buttons, undo and redo. If I click undo, you see, again, it goes for, not from. If I click no, it is from. If I click here, it goes again from. So redo and undo is here. And if you pay attention, I can use the shortcuts. It is Control Z and Control Y. Now, if I click on Control Z, you see it is form. If I click on Control Y, it from. For example, another one, I click and make it blue and make it bold. You see, when I click on Control Z, it make it regular from bold. Again, if I click on Control Z, you see, it makes it black, not bold. But if I want to keep it blue, I can Control Y, or I can click here. As you see, it goes vice versa. Only until I haven't closed the documents. If you paid attention, I used a lot of shortcuts. Instead of using the mouse, now if you see, I am using mouse, okay, for the cursor, for the selecting, or for example, making it underline after selecting, or making it bold, or click here, undo, something like this. Instead of this, I can use keyboard. I am free of mouse. Now I am using keyboard. So on the keyboard, I can use, for example, to select the word development. Arrow key, I go down. Then I go with the arrow key on the left, I go there, then keep shift and select forward arrow, go forward. I select it. Now I want to make it, for example, bold. Instead of using a mouse clicking on the B bold, I can use the shortcut Control B. It means that I should keep Control on the keyboard, then push at the same time B. It makes it bold. You see, it makes it. So shortcuts are the combination of the 2 or 3 keys at the same time. For example, you can, for selector, if you want to select all the text here, for example, you should put one of your fingers on Control, then at the same time push A. It will be selector and Control A. For example, here, instead of clicking and dragging the whole text, I can easily push my Control and push A. It will select all. Then, for example, I can decrease the text size or increase the text size, anything that I would like to do. Pay attention. If you keep the cursor on the tools, it will show under it. It is bold. Control B. This one, Control U, Control I, sorry, for italic, or Control U for italic. But for text color, I don't have any shortcuts. So I have to click and select it. So it is very important to know this point. If you go to file, maybe you can see some of Control O, for example. On insert, you say for link, for example, Control C. The most popular shortcuts on Google Docs are, the first one is undo. For undo, you can click on Control and Z. For redo, you can click on Control Y. For copy, you can click Control and C, the famous one. For paste, to paste something, add something, you can Control V, click on Control V. And also for cut, to cut item that you have selected, Control X. This is very useful. And as I mentioned, for select all the text, Control A. And also for bolding some item, you can click on Control B. For making italic, Control I, and making it underline after selecting the word or a sentence, Control U. It make them underline. And also to search something, you can click on Control F. F means find. Control F, you can search on the text, the whole text on the internet or on the document. Control F, it is very useful, Control F. And for opening a new document, Control O. It helps you to open a document. And for printing, Control P. If you click on Control P, it will bring a print option. For example, if I click, for example, Control P, you see it brings the print option. I can print it. Or Control F, it bring open something here. You see I can search, for example, for Akbar. all right, and it will search and find. It says that only one. But if I write, for example, digital, you see four. It is digital. The next one I can go. It shows that okay, digital. So control F helps you to find it if it is a long document. Or for example, if I click on Control O, it will go to my Google Drive. I can open other document, for example, my resume, something like this. I hope that this one was useful too, to use the shortcuts of the keyboards instead of mouse. Very quickly you can access them. You should practice, learn and practice one step by step. In the next video, we are going to use how we can use these tools and what are their functions.